Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to finish up drawing this one here in 2D. Now, the previous video I did create an isometric, and I would advise you to go watch that when I get to doing the dimensioning part, as I will incorporate the isometric into my final drawing. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch over to AutoCAD and get started. Okay, so here's that isometric that I was telling you about. Once again, I will try to remember to link a card here at the top of this video if you want to go back and watch it, or I'll try to also link it at the end of this video if you want to go ahead and create this isometric. Alright, we're going to start off by drawing these 2D shapes here. So, the first view here, we're going to start with a circle, and I'm just going to type in these commands. So I'm just going to go C, enter. I'll click here. And this one has a diameter of 40, so I'll type in D, enter for diameter, and then I'll type in 40. Alright, and then let's go ahead and put the other diameter that is known to us, and it's going to have a diameter of 9 there in the middle, so let's go C, enter. Let's go find the center, click here, give myself a preview, D, enter, then 9, enter, right? So, that's going to be all of the physical lines that we have so far. Everything else is going to be kind of derived off of this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the polygon in next. And before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and make the circle that polygon goes around. And it has a diameter of 20. So back to the circle command again. So circle, center, radius. I should have used the diameter one, but I'll go here. As I'm previewing it, I'll just type in D, enter, and then I'll type in 20. Okay, next let's go ahead and place in our polygon, right? The polygon command is located underneath your rectangle, or you can just simply type in POL for polygon. It's asking me right now to go ahead and specify the center. I'm just going to click here. Then it's going to ask me how many sides I have. Oh, I actually did choose a rectangle, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and switch to the polygon. Polygon should be asking me the number of sides. I have 6, enter. Let's go to the center here. And then it's going to ask me inscribed or circumscribed. Remember, I know what the sides are, so I'll use circumscribed. And then I'm just going to come and click this quadrant. Alright. Now some of these other things are going to be kind of derived, is what I was kind of telling you about before. Remember that these offsets or these chamfers on the inside are going to be simply made with an offset command. So I'll just use an offset, give it a distance of 1, enter. Since that is a 1 inch or 1 millimeter chamfer, I'll click here, go to the inside, as well as this one on the outside here. Okay, so everything that I needed to do to create the top view of this one is created. I don't have any hidden lines or things of that nature. Now, instead of having my section come down here at the bottom, I think I'm going to send my section here to the right. So let's go ahead and create some construction lines. So construction line that is horizontal. And then we'll just go right up and down and click these quadrants, right? Because these are going to be all the things that we should be able to see as we're coming through here. And I'll just stop right here at the, no, let's just go ahead and send it all across and do them all. Usually I'll stop and do half of it, but in this case we're going to go right across and do them all. Okay, let's zoom out a hair here. I'm going to draw a line going straight down here. EXTRIM. Go ahead and select that line we created and click here to the left. Okay, now I can start kind of creating the other lines that I'm going to need. So I'm just going to grab this line here, use the copy command. Pick a base point somewhere here is fine. I'm going to go forward a distance of 10, enter, then 20, and then 50. Alright, back to our good old EXTRIM command. So EXTRIM, enter. Select this line here, click to the right. We'll go back to enter again. This one goes down. One more enter. This one goes to the top. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at creating what's happening here on the inside. Now we got to kind of keep in mind where our lines are and things of that nature. So I'm kind of purposely keeping this other one kind of halfway on the screen over here. Hopefully you can see it. Let's go to the trim command, and then let's start here at the bottom. So I'm going to trim off this portion here, as well as this one on the other side. Now I'm going to go all the way in until I find my 20, right? And I'm just going to keep going up. And I should get rid of my chamfer lines now that I think about it. Let's do one step before we get to trimming. Let's hit escape here. We don't actually need this line or this one. Let's see. This one here we don't need, as well as this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete those lines. Let's go back to the trim command. Alright, and kind of finish the trimming that we were doing. Right, so we have a trim command going here. This is the outside edge. I'm going to get rid of that one as well, and this one. It looks like I did get rid of something I did need here in the middle. Yeah, I did. So there's an extra line that goes right across here. Let's go ahead and place that here in a second. But I'm just going to trim off right across here and here. And what I'm looking for is that I have a circle that has a diameter of 9 here in the middle. So let's go ahead and escape. Use the mirror command. Select this line here. And I'll go right across this middle here. Alright. Let's get back to trimming. So we're going to trim. So here's the bottom portion of this one, right? Now we know that this line here is going to stop right here at this 10. So I'm just going to stop it here. And I'm going to do that on both sides here. Alright. Here for this one, I know that my lines is going to come up to here. And that's where that polygon kind of insets onto the inside of here. And we're going to have a couple of more lines here in a second that we're going to add to it. But for right now, let's go ahead and trim these off here. Alright. And we're going to kind of do a little bit more here. And we're going to walk this down to here. Same thing on the other side. Alright. And now most of our shape is actually created here. We just need to go ahead and get rid of all of this going right across the middle here. And you can see that we do have our section created. Now I'm going to add a couple of more lines here. And the lines that I'm going to need are going to go from, let's see, let's pull up my construction line here. We just have, that is horizontal. I'm going to have a line at these 2 points. Alright, so now I'm going to go back and trim. This time I will select the cutting edges, and I'm going to use these 2 lines. Go ahead and hit enter. And let's go ahead and trim off this portion here, as well as the ones at the bottom here. Alright. And I'm just kind of giving it a quick glance over it and see if that's everything we need. I think it is. So the next step we need to do is go ahead and put our chamfers on here as well as our fillets. So let's start off with the fillet first. So fillet, radius 3, enter. And we have more than one, so I'll choose the multiple option. And then I'll just go ahead and put my fillets that are located here. Alright. Let's go ahead and do the chamfers. Remember, chamfer is located underneath the fillet. So I'll go to chamfer, distance, set it equal to 1, enter. And it's going to be the same for the next one, so I'll hit enter. And then we do have multiple. And then let's go ahead and start doing all of our nice chamfers that's around here. Okay. And we're actually almost done with this 2D drafting portion of it. Okay. So, taking a look at this, I can see that I do have my polygon that's kind of incest onto the inside of this. We do have our circle that's running through the middle of here. We do have our chamfers, which is located out here. And I think we have all of the drafting stuff that we need. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and create some layers here. And I'm not going to create very many layers. But I do know I need a hidden layer. And I'm going to need one for the phantom, because we have a section going through here. we're gonna need a center one. Sorry, not a center one. Oh, yes, I am correct. Center. And for good kicks, let's throw in a dimension. So that'll be a DIM. And then one more, let's call it a title block layer. Okay. Let's go ahead and assign some colors to this. So let's go ahead and make our center ones. I'm going to put it on color number, I'm thinking 5, which is, color number 4, sorry, which is cyan. Underneath my dimensions, let's go ahead and make those color number 1. The hidden lines here, let's go ahead and make them green. And I think we can actually see yellow. I kind of forget that sometimes with my background being black. So let's go ahead and make our phantom line yellow. That should show up. Okay. And then we're going to assign some line weights. So here next to the center one, I'm just going to go and find the continuous one. Go ahead and hit the load button here. Go find my center 2, select it, and then select it here. Hit OK. And that should take care of that one. The dimension one should be fine. The hidden one, we will go ahead and find the hidden line type as well. Let's scroll down and find hidden 2. Hit OK. Hidden. Load that. Oh, I didn't mean to hit load. Go back one. Select hidden and then hit OK. And then a phantom one. So I'm going to select here. Go to load. Scroll down till I find phantom 2. Go ahead and hit OK. Select it here and then hit OK. And I think I should have all of the layers that I need. I'm kind of giving them one quick glance over. And if I need another one, I'll add it here in this little bit. The title block one, let's go ahead and give it a color as well. Let's make it magenta. Okay. So I think that should satisfy all of our lines and line types. Okay. Let's go ahead and make it a B-size drawing here. So I'm just going to start off by creating a rectangle. So REC, enter 0, 0, enter 17, 11. And we should have our rectangle. And you can see that it is created here. Just going to offset to the inside a distance of 0.25. So let's go ahead and offset right to the inside. Let's go ahead and put it on the correct layer. Now this outside one, I'm just going to make it hidden. So I'm just going to select it here. And then I'll go find the line types for it. I'll just go ahead and make it hidden. Okay. Let's go ahead and make it a block. So I'll select it here. Go ahead and hit the create button. Just go ahead and call it TB. Go ahead and hit OK. Alright, so now we should have this set up as a title block. Let's zoom out a little bit. And then we're going to play with some numbers. So I'm going to right click on it, go to properties. Once my property window appears, let's go ahead and make it. I always usually like to start off with a 10. And 10 actually looks like it will work quite well for us. So let's go ahead and escape out of here. We're going to go ahead and use the annotation method. So I'll select 1 to 10. Do a regen. So RE, hit enter. Let's go ahead and move our isometric out of here. And then let's go ahead and place this on the inside. I'll turn off the ortho. Okay. We know that this one here goes on to the center layer. And I'll extend that here in a little bit. We know that we have some hidden ones, which are going to be these two. Oh, I hit escape too fast. Let's go ahead and select here again. Okay. Then let's go ahead and set up our center marks and our center layers. So I'll just go to center EXE. Let's go ahead and make this value 3. And the center layer command. And let's just go ahead and put it on the center layer. Perfect. Alright, we'll go ahead and make this a center mark here. And then on this side, I'm going to extend these, right? So I'm going to use the lengthen command. So I'll just use LEN. I'm going to select it by a delta. So I'll select the word delta here. It's asking me to enter that delta. I'm just going to click from that quadrant to that endpoint. And that's going to allow me to click here and here. Now I should have created a hatch layer, but we're just going to leave it on the object layer for now. Let's go ahead and put a hatch on this. So BH, enter. I'm going to select inside of here, as well as here at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and adjust the scale of here. I'm just going to make it 10. 10 looks to be okay. Let's go ahead and make this a steel one. So I'm going to use this one. Let's go ahead and hit the close creation. Let's go ahead and start working on creating a hatch. Okay. Or I'm sorry, not a hatch, a section line, right? So, way that we're going to do this is let's go to the home. Let's go to polyline. I'm just going to track off of here a little bit coming down. Let's go down this direction. Let's turn our ortho back on. Let's say we go down a distance of 3. And then we're going to go this direction. Let's call it a distance of 3 as well. Okay. And I'll hit the escape button. Now I'm going to concentrate on making an arrow here, right? So I'm going to do that with the polyline. So I'll start off with the polyline. PL. I'll click my starting point. And then I'm going to go ahead and specify the width, right? So it's going to have a starting width. And let's say we make the starting width 2. Let's make the ending width 0. And now what it's asking me for is how far do I want to send it going this direction, right? So it looks like 4 should be fine. Let's go ahead and hit escape here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the phantom layer. And I keep doing that. I'm sorry. I keep hitting escape quick. So let's go ahead and put it on that layer. Okay. So now we have our dimension here. I'm sorry, our section line. I'm going to go ahead and put the label on front of it. So remember, I'm just going to use that with a regular text. Now, if I want this to be automated a little bit, we can use a annotations text. And let's go ahead and use that. So I'll go to annotation. Then I'll go ahead and use a single line text. It's asking me for a justification. I'm just going to call it a middle right. So MR. Just going to touch that endpoint and track just a little bit away from it. It's asking me what's the height do I want it in paper size. Let's go ahead and tell it that we want it 0.1875. We have 0 for our rotation. And I'm just going to type in a capital A. Hit the enter button and click off. And then escape. Alright, so let's go ahead and move this back just a hair. Perfect. On this side, I'm going to label my section and I'm going to label it with 0.25 text. So I'll come back to here. I'm going to change the justification to middle center. I'll click here. The height of it, let's go ahead and make it 0.25. Enter, and we have no rotation. I'll start off with a %% space section A dash A and another space. Let's do a left click here and then hit escape. Just going to move this down just a hair for us. Okay. let's go ahead and do the mirror to get this across. So I'm just going to select both of these. Use the mirror command. We're going to go from this endpoint going straight across to this endpoint. Alright, so we have our section created and our section label. Let's go ahead and put this on the inside. I'm just going to grab this and scale it down. Let's see what 0.5 looks like. Then I'm just going to move this into my drawing. Alright, now we can do our dimensions and things of that nature. Trying to think of some other things I should do probably before I do that. Let's go ahead and label our chamfer here. Now I'm going to do that with a layer, right? With a leader. But before I do that, I need to go ahead and set up a quick leader for it. So I'm just going to select this icon here. And it's asking me which one or which method I want to use. I'll use the standard one here. Let's go to modify. So underneath here, this is all going to be fine, standard stuff. I do know my scale factor here will be 10. When I come to the contents, I'm just going to leave it at regular M text. And I'm just going to make this landing a little bit smaller as well. So I'll come back to here. The first line, I want to make it at an angle of 45 just so I can keep that going straight. And let's go ahead and make this landing a little bit smaller at 0.125. Go ahead and hit the OK button. Close. Now when I add my quick leader, and I'm going to zoom in here, I'm going to go to the midpoint here. And the reason why I did that at 45, because you usually want this label for a chamfer to be perpendicular to whatever that surface is. So I'll click here. And then I can start typing in what I need. So it's going to be 1 by 45. Let's see, we got a %% D. Hit enter, and I got it in 3 places, right? Alright, looks good for me. I'll go ahead and put this on the dimension layer. Okay, last thing I need to do now is just put all of my other regular dimensions on. Let's jump back to the annotation tab here. Let's go ahead and set all our dimensions up to be on the right layer. And then we're going to go and adjust our dimension style. So we're going to come here. We can use the standard one or the annotation one. Since we use the other one in annotation, let's go ahead and make it annotative. Let's go to modify. I always start with the primary units tab. I'll go ahead and suppress those trailing zeros underneath the fit. We don't have to worry about that since we're using annotative. We made the height of our leaders text is 0.125, so I'm just gonna, I don't think I adjusted it. Now that I go back and look at it, I don't think I did, but I'll go back and adjust it if I have to, and it should update for us. The arrows and everything should be fine, except for none here. There's no need for it. And let's make our extension a little bit tighter. Okay. Go ahead and hit OK and then close. Let me go ahead and look back at that leader style while I got my mind on it. I'm just going to go to standard, modify, and I want to take a look at the content. Yep, I did leave it at that height. Alright, so it automatically adjusted that. Now I'm ready to do my dimensioning, right? So let's go with our first dimension, which is going to be a leader going from a linear from here to here. Let's go ahead and place our next one, which is from here And we can also do from here to here. Now I could have used the baseline dimension. Let me move this down just a hair. And the reason I didn't do that is because sometimes I don't know how much space I have. Here I can kind of adjust them and kind of keep them, you know, ideally at a good distance apart. We need to label this radius. And I'm looking for any other things that we have to put on here. Okay. Now I'll come back later and put the diameter symbol on that. We do have a diameter that needs to be given here. And we have to tell them how wide to make this cut here. Just going to move this over a little bit. All right, so we're getting to the end of this drawing, believe it or not. We just have a couple more things to do here. So I'm just going to go ahead and edit this. Let's get to the front of it. %C. Go ahead and close this. And I'm just going to give it one quick look over here. I zoom to the extents. And I don't think I see anything that sticks out. So we have all of our dimensions on. We have a section line depicting this section. And remember that the section should typically, most likely, be shown on the opposite direction of which way your arrows are facing. So that's why the arrows are going this way. All right, we have that shown. We have our hidden lines shown. We gave them the size of the polylines. We gave the chamfers, and I think we are actually completed with this drawing. So hopefully you enjoyed this drawing. I know there's a lot of little bitty detail in it, but you can see that sometimes getting this all set up just for a good drawing does take some time. So thank you for watching. Thank you if you're a new person for coming in here and watching this video. And if you like this type of content, please go ahead and leave me a comment below. And if there's something else that you want to see, and as always, just keep drafting.